Hello gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Ff7 and welcome back to another video. And guys, in today's video I want to talk to you all about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But before we get into today's video, I do want to give a special shout out and thank you to Square Enix for hooking me up with a review copy of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I do want to apologize that the content is so late because unfortunately Square Enix did give me the review key very late, middle of the day after launch. And so I do apologize for the late content and stuff like that. I am grateful nonetheless, but just for you guys, I need to be transparent about those kind of things. You were probably expecting Ff7 Rebirth videos, when the game dropped, which was what I originally planned. But anyway, what I want to talk to y'all about today is some of the best settings I think are good for, gameplay and stuff like that. Now, disclaimer, I always say this in settings videos. My settings are not going to be, the best for everybody. So make sure, you test these out and, just like do a little bit more research if you want to and make sure they're comfortable for you. Just because I'm on YouTube and I say they're great for me doesn't mean they'll be great for you. Let's just get that disclaimer out of the way. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and start in the most obvious place I always like to touch on first, especially with these current gen consoles, is graphics. First and foremost, optimization performance. Hands down, frame rate over everything, especially in games where you're trying to do precise combat and stuff like that. In games like this or shooters, I cannot stress that more than enough. Frame rate is going to be your best friend. Now, for your camera controls and stuff like that, there are two things here I personally like to change: your camera distance in battle and out of battle. Now, out of battle, I don't care about too much, but in battle, I like to turn mine up to 3. And what that does is it zooms out the camera so that way, you can see everything going on around you and stuff like that. And me personally, especially when I'm playing a RPG and MMO, anything that has, like intense combat where I have to strategize and everything, I like to see everything around me, anywhere the boss could possibly go or any of that. So I think that's, a real good thing. Camera repositioning, fix this at your own will. Me personally, I turn it off. I'm one of those guys that thumb is on the right stick 24/7. I love controlling my own camera. Camera repositioning just isn't comfortable for me. However, it could be for you. What that does is basically, every time the camera is like off or something like that, it'll reposition it automatically once your character starts running, moving, or anything like that. Attack target correction. This just basically it'll move the camera to show off-screen targets when you're attacking. Me personally, I wouldn't put this on just because if the target's not on the screen, I'm not focused on them. But that's just me personally. This camera slope angle, you've probably seen something like this similar to it in Grand Blue Fantasy Relink if you've played that. What it does is it just changes the camera angle to matches like any slope terrain if you're running up or down a hill or something like that. I would say go ahead and just leave that on. Camera pullback, this just, it shows a wider area when the character's moving. Like say when you get into the open world area and you want to see, more of everything that's going on. I would say go ahead and leave that on. That's honestly fine, but to each their own. Post-action refocus. This, I would say definitely leave on. It just fixes you after you're climbing ladders, sliding down poles and stuff like that. Responsiveness, this you have to tune yourself and try out. I'm thinking about bumping mine up to 4 or 5. I'm just going to try 4. But this is basically, it's kind of like camera sensitivity. Just how sensitive it is and stuff like that. Mine's not quite sensitive enough. I'm one of those guys, who play with my dead zone really low in shooters and everything like that. So, I kind of like a more responsive camera. I'm just bumping it up to 4. But like I said, that one's one you just gotta, you have to try a bit on your own. Now, horizontal camera controls, vertical camera controls, you guys know if you want those inverted or not, just go ahead and set those how you like them. This is your camera view for ally controls. Like say, when you're issuing a command, you're playing Cal and you want Tifa or Barrett to do something and stuff like that. If you switch to do a command with one of those characters, do you want the camera to actually move to them or do you want it to stay on the main character that you're playing? Now, me personally, I'm going to keep this on the active character because if I just want those characters to do something, that's fine. I'll give them their command. But my focus is still going to be on my main character, where I'm attacking and and stuff like that. Now, lock-on controls, me personally, you know, some people are going to like the menu control and the menu control auto camera and stuff like that. I like having my lock-on set on the right stick. All right, that's just, you know, that's where I like mine. That's where I like mine put at. Like, I leave mine there because, you know, it feels comfortable in action RPGs. It feels comfortable in Souls games. That's just, you know, where I'm used to my my camera controls being. But feel free to change that, you know, to each their own. Your lock-on switching, I would definitely say direction input, so you can change that yourself. Screen shake, always turn this off. It just makes games, you know, look more bouncy and frame rate. It makes your frames look like they're dropping more for no reason at all. Screen shake and motion blur are two things I hate in games that they keep putting in here, and I don't know why they always do that. Now, next we're going to sit here into the gameplay section. The audio and vibration and language and text audio, I think you guys, you know that stuff pretty well yourself. I'm just going to give you a few recommendations I have here. Me personally, I'm playing on dynamic hard difficulty. I just, you know, I like the challenge. You know, that's to each their own. There's no recommendation or anything I'm going to say you have to do with that. One thing I will say though is harder difficulties are very overrated in games nowadays. If for what it's worth, if you've ever played a Souls game or anything that's truly difficult, you'll be fine if you play on hard on this. You'll be okay, I promise. Combat style, if you like to, of course, you know, active, especially if you like new action combat and everything, you can go to classic for those, you know, who just want to focus on executing commands and stuff like that. It's still going to be action combat, but, you know, it'll just be more of like a hybrid of, you know, of like a turn-based and action combat. Now, your cursor position, this is just whether, you know, the game remembers it or not. Out of battle, same thing with in battle. Commands for the menu character. This will be if, you know, if the game remembers the last character you used during the commands menu outside of battle. These are, you know, just all preference up to you. I don't have a recommended for those things because I personally don't care. Like I said, when I'm playing, I'm mainly focused on, you know, one character that I'm playing anyway. I don't switch characters too often, but that's just me. Like I said, everybody's play style is different. This is going to be the issuing commands menu. The best way I can compare this is whether, you know, you like the current commands menu that's in Ff7 Remake, or if you want to go to the command shortcuts, which will work more like something attuned to Kingdom Hearts. So, you know, if you like how Ff7 Remake does it, stick with the commands menu. If you like more so how Kingdom Hearts does it, I would say go with command shortcuts. The party member display info, you know, that's pretty self-explanatory. I would just leave it the way it is, unless, you know, you want to see it from the opposite end. Cool. These are just basically to swap your guard and shortcut command buttons. Do you want guard to be R1 or the shortcut menu to be L1 and vice versa, yada yada yada. Your combat targeting, turn this to free. The main reason I'm going to say that is because, like, let's say you're in the middle of a fight. You have 3 enemies around you, right? And you're in the middle of comboing on that one enemy. Having this on free will let you mid-combo switch to another enemy if you want to just, you know, knock some of their HP down and stuff too. You know, give yourself options. I say put that on free, but like I said, to each their own with everything. Now, the combat controls guide display, I would say leave that on, especially if you're newer to the game. It's just there. It's not going to hurt anything. It just tells you, you know, what buttons do what in combat. I don't think there's any harm in that. Mini-maps, dynamic or static, that's basically up to you. Do you want the mini-map to rotate and move around while you're moving? Then put it on dynamic. If you'd rather it stay still, put it on static. That's real, you know, simple. World navigation display. This is another one of preference. Tracker, you're going to have that compass above your head. Mini-map, you're going to have, you know, like a tiny mini-map. Whichever one you prefer. I would say the tracker, just because, you know, the open world is pretty big. And, you know, the compass definitely helps out more. But then the mini-map tends to give more exact locations. So, I don't know. That's a hard one. In the comments, let me know what you guys want to do. Overworld mini-map display area. If you're using the mini-map, I would turn this up so that way, you know, it just gets bigger. Again, this is, you know, location navigation display. Do you prefer the tracker or the mini-map? And, of course, you know, do you want the mini-map display area? I would say if you're going to use a mini-map, use it as big as possible. That way, you know, you get the most out of it. But anyway, guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for my recommended settings for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Let me know if any of these helped you down in the comments below. You all enjoyed today's video? Smash that like button. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out. Have a good one.